Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Callum Nicol. Thank you for tuning in. You might have seen that myself and Charlie Skeggs have produced a video on the finale of Ted Lasso. Whilst we were doing that, just before we did that, we were actually talking about the Premier League and about things that have happened this season. One thing that we mentioned in the video was our hot takes for next season, and I've got one. I think Newcastle might just win the Premier League next season. I know that's a lot, but there is an explanation for it. When the new ownership model came in, Eddie Howe was appointed as their manager. Newcastle hadn't won a game. They was right at the bottom of the Premier League. They were definitely facing a relegation battle. Eddie Howe did what he did. He signed the likes of Kieran Trippier. You look at Dan Burn, players like that who have helped that team so much to create that identity within at Newcastle. Then they signed players such as Bruno Guimaraes, Alexander Isak. So you can see already that the quality of player coming into the club is growing and growing. They finished that season doing so well, managed to get out of it. This season comes along, they're in the Champions League. Newcastle United are back in the Champions League. And you look at the amount of time that it's taken. Listen, I understand that the Saudis and these Middle Eastern ownership models do not do second, they don't do third, they don't do fourth. They want to win. Of course they do. But I think even they and Amanda Staveley would admit that Champions League football in such a short period of time, wow, maybe didn't expect it to happen so soon. I genuinely think that backs up my point that Newcastle United, with Champions League football, with that incredible stadium, with those incredible fans, and with a very, very good team already on paper in the Premier League, will attract the talent that it might take to go and win the Premier League next season. We all know that City are an unstoppable force, but not much on the pitch and in the boardroom separates Newcastle and Manchester City anymore. It just doesn't. Managers, of course, Pep Guardiola, he's been there and done it. Eddie Howe is a manager on the up. Can he keep his head in moments like that, deep into a title race? We're not sure. But I genuinely think that if Newcastle continue in the trajectory that they are in terms of quality of players that they're bringing into the club over this summer's going to be massive for that. If they can do that, there is absolutely no reason why they can't be in a title race next season. You look at Arsenal this year. I think Arsenal took advantage of teams that struggled, such as Liverpool, obviously Chelsea and Tottenham were nowhere near it this season. They just weren't at it. Arsenal had a very good start to the season, did really well, and managed to maintain it for a long period of time. All that it takes for Newcastle next season is something like that, with a team that has improvements in 3 or 4, maybe even 5 positions on the pitch, with proper Champions League class talent coming into the football club. I can just see Newcastle doing things a lot quicker than they should. And I can see this trajectory going way, way higher than anybody even involved in that football club expects. And the Newcastle fans can see it. They were telling everybody that they were getting Champions League football over Christmas, way before Christmas. You hear it on TalkSport, you hear it on Sky Sports News. They knew what was happening. They knew how special this situation is that they found themselves in now. And I genuinely think it's only going to get better. We all knew it would only get better, but I think it's going to get better very quickly. So I hold my hands up. If it all goes to pot next season for Newcastle, I apologise, but I genuinely have them as my hot take to mount a serious title challenge next season. Let me know what you think. That's a controversial one, I'm sure you will agree. And a lot of people might disagree with that. But I don't mind. That's football, isn't it? Football is opinions. But I can just see that team with some proper business in the transfer window this summer doing serious things next season in the Premier League and maybe even the Champions League. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Always a pleasure. I will see you soon. Thank you.